2 was that. Job 3. Let's put another twin pulse setting in it. I'll just go through and turn all these twin pulse settings off. Job 4. Job 5.
How many jobs can you install?
6. Done.
Is there 6 in total, or is there 6 in each different?
6 for the 1 mil program, 6 for the 1.2 program. So each time you change programs, you can store up to 6 job points. So 80 amps, job 2, twin pulse. Okay. So once you've got your settings, what you want to store,
Yep.
right? So it just means at the moment we're in job 1, job number 1.
Yep.
If you want to change something, go into job number 1, alter it, and then you can lock your job up at that. You'll need to have a weld so it recognises you want to change something. Sorry, wrong button. Job 2, I just set it at 100 amps with that twin pulse.
Yep.
At 1.2, and job 3, I just went through and switched off the twin pulse on the others. So once you've set it, push and hold. To lock job, okay? So then, even though you're scrolling through these job numbers,
Yes.
if you bump them, it's not going to change anything. You know what I mean? That's the idea of set it up, get the settings that you want, push and hold, lock the jobs in
Yep.
that you want. Make sure your settings are right, because once you're in that locked job, if you want to change something, it does give you arc length.
Yes.
Current plus or minus 20 amps. So even though once your arc length's set, and that typically doesn't change because that's how much wire's delivering to your speed of welding.
That's right. Yep.
Then you can actually manipulate your current up or down
Depending on which
20
direction I'm
amps.
going. Yep.
Yeah. So, which is generally enough if you're changing
While it's in job mode.
while it's in job mode, without upsetting any of the other settings. So for argument's sake, if you had twin pulse on, or your inductor was set a specific way for an overhead position, that sort of thing, that's what it's there for.
Okay.
So for you to get out of job numbers,
Those two.
the west and the south key together, and it'll show torch C. So now you've got full manual control at your torch. Or you can go back into torch job, and it'll give you that and a current control
Yep.
on it.
That's good.
Okay,
So I can set 5 different positions of welding.
pretty much. Yeah. So
Down,
yeah,
go job. I can just have it all written down.
the idea of it's really for sort of piecework. Blake's sitting there
Same thing all day.
welding the same thing all day, and they might have 4 different settings to do that job.
That's right.
And they've got a set procedure that they follow, and they go, job 1, bang, it's tacked.
That's
Job 2 is all the
handy, mate.
downhand
That's-
welding.
Takes all that
yeah.
setting out of it.
It's good and bad. The bad side of it is that it's sort of taking a bit of skill away from the operator, really, where he's not recognising what's happening in the whirlpool immediately, because he's already stored it and it should be happening, and your material size might have changed a millimetre, and that will affect.
See these colourable gates?
Yep.
I do hybrids of them.
Oh, okay.
With the silicon bronze.
Yep.
So I'll just set it as job 1
Happy days.
because I've got a jig. I'll just whack them together. I just sit there and weld 4 corners.
Yep.
And the whole jig flips over. weld the other
Yeah.
side.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
And the vertical down on the 2 top bits.
Yep.
It's different to the flat
Yeah.
because the silicon bronze is just shit.
It's-
But I can just set that as job 2.
Yep.
A little bit.
You've got that in the silicon bronze program. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using
Yep.
it.
Okay. Cool.
Fine tune it now and set it.
Really,
Because if I still have
just
job
trying to
one,
think. There's not really any other settings apart from special functions,
Yep.
which I can come back and go through with you that, but I'd rather you
Let me play with it and get
use
more
with this,
familiar.
get familiar with it, and
Yeah.
then you'll go, right, I need to improve the crater fill, or I want to extend the slope time, or whatever it may be that you
Yeah.
want to do. So I'd rather you sort of get your settings right if you want, store it,
Yeah.
be operating
That's
it,
good.
and then we'll go, right, if you want to go on the special functions, because there's a little bit to it, and it's, it's all to do with, no, sorry, because we're in lock job, we can't change anything on the screen, so we'll get out of there. No, sorry, lock job. Need to unlock the job. Takes about 5 seconds or something. There we go. Okay, so it goes into.
I've seen that. I've played with that a little
Okay,
bit.
so you push and hold, hot start, burn back, cycle special,
Yep.
and then you're adjusting, the hot start level, time across the peak current, slope time, crater fill, all that sort of thing. So, or you can just put it into standard, which I'll put that back into standard for you. So there's preset for 4-tack with a hot start crater fill function. The two tack with a crater fill, 4-step, and 4-step with hot start crater fill. So the 4-step with hot start crater fill is good if you're doing, reasonably long runs. But if you're not used to 4-step 4 movements on the trigger, you get.
Can I, if I went to a job, say job number 3, and I had it set at the tack,
Yep.
would that put it back into that mode?
Yes.
Does it store that
Yes,
as well?
yes, that's the idea. So anything that you can adjust on the screen
It'll save all that.
gets saved all in, even if you're going into special functions.
Yep.
It'll save all that.
Fuck, that's
so you
awesome.
can just flick between, you can get it,
So-
spot on for
And
exactly
then
what you
when
want.
I'm in my silicon bronze mode,
Yep.
job number 3,
Yep.
there's nothing to do with the aluminium side of it.
No. So each time you change the program,
Yeah.
so you go to steel.
It's a totally different story.
Yeah, exactly. So it's memorising, you're in pulse MIG mode, you're in aluminium, you're in 1mm wire. And there's 6 jobs for that. That's what it's memorising.
Yeah. Sweet.
Alright.
That's awesome.
But again, I'll just leave you in standard.
Yeah.
And then once you get the sort of, you've operated for a while and
Yeah.
you want to manipulate that, we can go through, because otherwise I can bang on about it now, and I've actually got a right manual for another machine, and which will cover this as well. So there'll be a couple of proper manuals
Yeah.
that come out. I mean, that is an Italian
I read through the fucking thing twice.
converting it
And
into English, mate. And
everything
yeah.
referred to the pup.
Yes.
How to change everything on the
Yeah.
pup, but I haven't got a pup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
That's cool.
yeah, there's not much on the 250. What manual is it? Yeah, okay, you got the 00. I have written a manual, but it's for a different machine
Yep.
with them while I was over there. But there is another manual more specific to the 250. So,
It's more. I could probably do one myself, just like the graph, so
Yeah.
you get your main menu,
Yeah.
and then it branches off that,
yep.
and what those, because the T doesn't look like a T, so you think, fuck, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, exactly. So
It's all that-
what we've done is taken digital shots of what actually flashes up.
And
So
what it means.
what they've done on the panel that they've chosen, there's a limited amount of characters
Yeah.
that you can build into that,
right, yeah.
and unfortunately there'll be a segment missed off the leg.
Yeah.
So like that standard, it'll have or a special function. BBT.
Looks like a BBE.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was the sort of compromise about it.
No, that's cool. That's good. Very good.
So if you're welding hot, what's the cabling in your
That's
you need a
15 amp. But
yeah.
it's not a 15 amp plug. So.
Yeah, it's
But I just make sure nothing else is turned on in that circuit.
yeah.
Because the only difference between 15 and 10 amp is it's a designated.
Yeah, but with your extension lead, it's a whole lot different. And what it is to do with your actual copper diameter.
Yep.
So if you have a look there, that's only about 1 mil at best, maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
Go to electrical wholesaler, get yourself some 2.5 mil copper core and a couple of plugs, because this will start to give you problems if you get too much voltage drop.
Yep.
And you'll only notice it if you're welding above about 110 amps, where it starts to draw more power.
Yeah.
And it'll break the arc, and it'll be coming up with a power light, all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
So
I've got to run the 3-phase around there anyway.
oh, that's right. You said you had 3-phase, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got a big screw compressor, but it's
miles away.
it's around the other end of the house.
Yeah, sure.
I've got to bring all that.
You got a neutral, haven't you, in the
Yep.
3-phase? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're fine.
Because this shed's, I've just cleared all outside there, so this shed's going all the way up there.
Yeah.
So I'll
Right.
get it
Okay.
all up here anyway.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you do, I mean, there's no issue running on the lead. The issue that you have is when you don't have the copper to carry the voltage to the machine.
I really like those fucking plugs they use.
Yeah.
They're pretty special, aren't
Yeah. The Clipsal things.
they? Yeah.
Alrighty. With your push pull, you got the 1.2 roller, haven't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I'd run your 1.2 in it.
So one of these is V'd and the other one's round, is
Yeah.
it?
So if you have a look on the side of those, I mean on the push pull gun. So if you have a look at that, so you see there it's got a V, 1.2
Oh,
V,
yeah, yep.
and the other side will be 0.9 V.
Yep.
Okay, and they've got a U.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a 1.2.
Yeah. So what happens if you put that alley wire into the V, you actually distort the wire.
Yeah.
So it crushes it down to a V, and that's why that liner was V'd out at the bottom.
Yeah, right.
So
I'll use that roll up and then I'll get some 1.2.
aluminium, the planets have got to align, you know. So,
Yeah. And I'll just,
but with your push pull, run 1.2. It's far more
I
successful.
might as well use 1.2 in it as well. I'll
Yeah.
just keep everything the same.
Yeah.
Then I'll just tweak it.
Yeah.
But I should be an expert by the time I finish that roll.
Alrighty.
That's awesome. That makes a heap more sense now.
There's really not much else to tell you about it. They have simplified this machine quite a bit. The arc length, I had you on that vertical down at the end at +2.
Yep.
So you're actually pulling wire out of the job as well. So particularly on that outside corner. So this is the manipulation that you can do.
Yeah.
So if you come up to a job like that and you